this dichotomy is about the highways and the local roads. So because we are working in conjunction with them, we'll be able to jointly enforce, especially the issue with traditional directional violation one way. That in 2024, we recorded mortality of 222 persons. 45% of this death is a result of road traffic one-way violation, which is directional violation, and traffic light violation. So we want to come together to ensure that we conduct a joint operation to be able to reduce these high-dreaded offenses, especially traffic light violation and one-way violation, in order to reduce the number of accidents. This year, we have a joint target to ensuring that we reduce the crashes to BRS minimum. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Earlier you made mention of introducing technology to capturing offenders and the likes. So what benefits can we derive? Can you expatiate? What benefit can we derive from this automated system, digitization?
The benefits are enormous. Number one, accountability. It will help us to build our database. When an offender is apprehended and it goes through the automatic payment system or through thermal camera capturing, we'll be able to capture the details of the offender. Thereby will help even the security agencies in future to be able to monitor, to know if that kind of person involved in any act of criminality. Number one, it will help us for proper accountability. The normal formal processes that involve use of paper, there are a lot of sharp practices, but with the introduction of technology, it's seamless. Another one is that the time wasted by offender going to bank, pursuing code, most times 2-3 days they will not be able to get to network, having to have access to the network. But this will be seamless. It will, this wasting of man-hour time, it will be reduced to BRS minimum. People can just quickly, seamlessly. Practically, if you are apprehended around what is it called now? General to now we have a smart hardwares that we use. There and then you can pay for your offense. But we try to discourage that because we have rule of law enforcement authority and we have a tribunal established within the ultimate premises, and they sit 3 times in a day. At times we call them over the weekend to come and sit if you have offended. So we are using both technology and issuing the court through law of enforcement to ensure that people don't just pay fine, but they come through the law so that we can have them going back to be able to share their experience with people. We want to use them as advocates, let them advocate for us so that by the time they go through court and they are fined liable, they pay. And that will actually enshrine into our system the fairness and justice. It's not about payment. Where we have introduced technology, we are historically using ensuring the rule of law prevailed. So that is those are the advantages of using the technology to bear.
Okay. In a nutshell, I would like to say that the effort of your officers chasing violators or those who flout the traffic rules will somehow be limited due to the digitization of what you are doing. All right, that's good. Now we go to the welfareism of the officers, OITMA officers, who are actually some of them they fall victims of circumstances by the violators of this offense. What measures is the government putting in place to ensure that the whole situation is?
Thank you. I would like to thank the Executive Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, for granting us, after I've revalidated the existing recruitment request that my principals had when I came in last year. We recruited 500 men. I met only 218 when I resigned. Now we are about 700 and plus, going to 800. On 29th of July, upon my request during my speech at the passing out parade, the Excellency graciously approved hazard allowance for our staff. That is the first point of call. We have hazard allowance, and we have existing procedure. There are existing procedure for injured officers, and we're actually pursuing now an insurance policy for all the officers in event of accident or hazard. But the civil service has a procedure. They've registered and they will go through the normal process. And in November last year, when we had a similar issue, the governor himself paid visit to the victim and also granted some incentives to them. So the government has been so helpful in assisting us in the treatment, in providing necessary finances in treating our injured officers.
Last year, the government approved a recruitment of 500 officers. So how were you able to convince the government to this? It's not when I came in, like when I was appointed, I know it is a commitment to service and equally to ensuring that I moved Oitman to a higher grant. And part of what we have achieved is the recruitment of the 500 men. It's not that high, it is collective effort of everybody in Oitman, the management team. I merely approached His Excellency by revalidating what was on the ground, and he graciously approved it, knowing fully well that we need more men to enable us to perform our duty diligently. Besides that, we still have voluntary hands of the Oitman, the Oitman marshals, the replicant of what we have in the Federal Road Safety. These are professionals that volunteer to assisting Oitman in area of advocacy, in area of helping us to use their skills. We have lawyers, we have counselors that will come to our assistance when we need them and call upon them. When we had the last issue, some of them went to court in helping the Oitman to defend, to help us to prosecute the case against an offender. So by and large, the recruitment was successful, and being a former recruitment officers in the Nigerian Army, I've recruited in about 3 states over time when I was in service. So I bring to bear my experience where we adopted physical check, we did medical check, we did screen for drugs, we did 2-kilometer race at Makala Barracks, we had CBT for level 8 and level 7, and we have paper tests, babe tests for level 6 to level 3, and followed by other interview. So cumulatively, that is why if you go outside now, you see that we have efficient officers performing road traffic duties across the states. Okay, thank you very much, sir. For our viewers who would like to contribute to this program, you can call us via this number 090-398-53731. Again, 090-398-53731. While we still move on, so what's your central message to the public at general, those who violate the rules? And we also like to know, aside from violating the traffic light, what other offenses can be categorized under Oitman? Because at times we see different kind of bodies coming up. They will say, the road, they are illegal parking and the likes. We see some other bodies. So what are the job roles that Oitman are supposed to perform? And for those who violate it, what is their offense? What are they charging them for?
Okay, we have our law detail about 87 infractions. not just traffic light violations or directional violations. We have offenses such as assault of officers. It's a serious offense. We have offenses like illegal parking. If you go to places like what's this place called, Dubai area, there are private parking lots around that general area, but people defied and parked on the road. We've done advocacy around that place, so we moved out. We ensure that we move all those vehicles, because if you leave them there, it will cause obstructions and causing a lot of, even displaying wares on the road is an offense, because it disrupts the ecology and cause obstructions for road users. So we have a lot of offenses, like I mentioned, about 89 of them as detailed in our law. Now we are looking at the law as the review of the law, because we've seen that last year from our statistics, there's a particular offender where we apprehended 7 times. Is it because our law, what we have there, is not enough? But there are 3 offenses we are looking at that we've moved to have the law amended. This traffic light violations is claiming a lot of lives, and we want to have an punitive measure to ensure that people feel it when they pay, and equally the what is it called, the directional violation, which is one way and assault. So those 3 offenses are serious offenses that even the governor, you will not see the governor violating traffic light. You will not see so many public officers violating traffic light. But most times, if you go on Sundays and Saturday, go to Idiape for instance, you will see within 1 or 2 hours, you'll be counting countless of people running traffic light. So there are so many offenses, and we are doing our best in ensuring that within the limited resources we have and the number of men we have deploying now, and that is how we are bringing technology to assist us in ensuring that even when we are not there, we can still get your number plate and send information to you. And when you don't pay, at the instance of renewal of your document, you'll be able to pay. We'll make sure that you pay all the accrued fines that you refuse to pay over time. So we are trying our best with the resources we have.
Okay, sir. Your message to those who think they can flout the rules and then still go with it without punishment, or those who pass one way, is it part of Oitman's job too? What's your message to them?
One way is not granted. It's a serious infraction. Elsewhere, if you apply one way, the pay as much as 300,000 as fine. And besides that, you must go for psychological tests. And that's what we want to bring to bear now. Let's check these people that are applying one way. Are they sane at all? So we'll send them to psychological institutions to go and let's test them. So when we do that, I think it will reduce because of the time they will spend in getting those medical reports. And what is the other question, please? You said?
Those who think they can flout the rules and then escape with it.
Is going to be a serious problem moving forward, because the technology will help us to register all offenders, especially traffic light violators, and in no time you will be issued with your ticket. Don't think that our men are not there, that we will not be able to get you, because the technology will record you, we'll send it to, we evaluate and forward it to you for necessary actions.
In fact, I would like to say some people, they complain that we have excess of staff on the road. So what with the use of technology now, I think the number of staff officers on the road will be reduced.
Traffic management is not just about enforcement alone. It's about service. It's about service to the people, to ensure that there is free flow of traffic and the reduction of accidents. So we will still continue to do our normal routine patrols. So it's not that we have so many officers on the road. We still need more officers, because if I look at the marks of Oyo State, going to Okiogun, Barakpa, and everything, we are not even enough. So, though most times the technology, what they say it causes what unemployment, but not unlike traffic, road traffic management work, because we provide service during peak hours when the traffic lights are down. We use hand signals, we conduct patrols, we conduct rescue operations, and we do a lot of other special duties.
So what efforts are you making to equip more officers, especially within the 33 local governments?
Of course, we have a better budget this year, and we are ensuring that we leverage on the magnanimity of His Excellency for approval of some of the things that we lack. In our budget this year, we have budgeted for Reka 2 truck, 5-ton, 7-ton Reka 2 trucks. We've budgeted for articulated 2 trucks. We equally budgeted for road signs, smart road signs. And so definitely all depends on what we'll be able to access in the course of the year, and we trust that it will be better than previous year.
Okay, sir. Also, we received that in some areas there is no enough parking lots, and as a result, some drivers they park on the roadside. So, what effort are you making towards this?
Yes, if you look at if you go
like
through
Basharun area, for instance.
yeah, let's start from general gas area now. Like the local government has started working around that general area to create a parking lot for Okadas, Maruwas, and Mikra. So most of this accessibility cannot be bought by the government, the state government alone. It is going to be a collective responsibility with the local government, and we are already in collaboration with them. Just last week, we raised a letter to the Honorable Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Matters on necessary collaboration with the local government in ensuring that we have enough parking spaces for our vehicles. The shop owners around Basharun, they're supposed to have a parking space for their customers. You cannot leave everything in the hands of the government alone. If you have your shop and you're expecting your customer to come, you're supposed to have a parking space. But we'll be able to demarcate some places for them that will not within the U-turn area, where in the interim that some of their customers and people that will interimly want to buy something can quickly get moved out. But around the bend area, moving towards the market and to the bridge, we'll continue to carry out enforcement in order to discourage people from parking in those areas.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. In case our viewers, in case you are just joining us, we have been talking with the chairman of Oyo State Road Traffic Management Authority, OITMA. That's Major Adekoya Adeshagba, retired. And very quickly, I would like to ask, sir, what do you envisage where OITMA will be in the next 3 to 5 years? And what are the dreams you think you, as the chairman, will be leaving behind?
All things being equal, I have a very big expectation for OITMA, and we've started with automated payment system. We have a marshal launch. We have recruitment, and we are bringing in technology. I want to see OITMA moving and sustain what we are going to establish within the time frame that will be as to serve as OITMA chairman. We are going to ensure that we have this technology-driven environment in a smart city where we can have teams seamlessly carried out without having to have contact with offenders. We want to see a city that businesses can thrive, that can attract foreign investment through proper traffic management. We want to see Oyo State where we can have people, where market people will be kept within the limit and not to dovetail into the space of on the roads. We want to see a city that will be developed where we can have an environment that is devoid of chaos and reduction in road traffic accidents. These are my dreams.
Okay, now, how about the officers in displaying their professionalism in the expertise when dealing with the public? Is there any training that the authority tends to offer your officers? Because a reaction from the public too, they might sound too authoritative or addressing the public in a manner that is not ideal.
Okay, thank you for that. Every Wednesday, during last year, we used to have Wednesdays for training. But our tentative training program for 2025, we'll be having bi-monthly training program. Just yesterday, we had one on safety, environmental safety, occupation health and safety, by a renowned safety expert at the local government training school. We brought in about 150 of officers across the state. So we'll continue to train and retrain them, issue of being civil, to work the ambit of the law, and the usage of minimum force. So you cannot be a traffic officer, you want to take laws into their hand. So we'll continue to train them, we'll continue to educate them, and we'll continue to orientate them on the need to be civil, to be polite to the people. And I've actually told them there is need to deploy discretion. When you have somebody crossing, zebra crossing, and it's not yet out of it, maybe because the judgment time for the traffic light, and you know that it is not as if it's an intentional act, you can address it and let the person understand that you have faulted this, and this is. But when the person is polite to you, you can just ask the person to move backward a little bit. But when the person becomes aggressive to you, and he thinks that you are not or undermines your authority at that particular place, then that person will be brought in for infraction. But like I said, 3 infractions that me as a chairman, it's not granted to us: assault on our officers, traffic light violations, and one-way driving, which is directional violation. But those things, especially the last 2, they've claimed a lot of lives. So we will not compromise on that. So we'll continue to train our officers. Like I said, bi-monthly we're having training, bringing resource person, and during the course of the year, we'll be having a week-long training week where we'll be demonstrating, having people, and in our program this year, we'll be subscribing to training at the Federal Road Safety institutions, especially the one at Hoodie, the Federal Road Safety Command and Staff College, and the Academy. And equally, we'll be having overseas courses as we have it in our budget if we have the fund. So we'll continue to train and retain our officer on civility, on working within the ambit of the law, and so that they will be seen as friends of the people and not just what in the first place is not meant for revenue generation. It is service to the people. But the cost of performance of our duty in enforcement, then people need to pay for fines. So we are not particularly about payment of fine alone, though it is source of internal revenue generation to the government. But principally, our duties, number 1, is to ensure that the free flow of traffic, 2, to ensure that there is reduction in accident, and 3, to ensure that businesses can thrive and people can get to their destination as quickly as possible.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Before we call it a day, we'd like you to express to our viewers in Yoruba language. A fẹ́ kẹ́ sọ ní pàtó kí ni iṣẹ́ tí iṣẹ́ Oitman ṣe, pàápàá jùlọ ní àìpẹ́ yìí a gbọ́ pé ẹ tún darapọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn tó ń bá ilé iṣẹ́ ẹ̀rọ tó ń bá yàn sọ̀rọ̀. Kí ni ohun tẹ́ fẹ́ mú fà jáde nípa bẹ́ ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́ pọ̀ yìí?
Ẹ ṣé olóòtú. Ó ṣe pàtàkì láti jẹ́ kí àwọn èèyàn wa mọ̀ wípé ìgbésẹ̀ tá à ń gbé ní ilé iṣẹ́ Oitman ni wípé bí a ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́ wa tẹ́lẹ̀ tó jẹ́ wípé ó ń já sí pé àwọn èèyàn wa wọ́n máa nà wọ́n, tá a bá múyàn ní ojú pópó pé ó jáná wàhálà ló máa ń fà. Ìdí èyí ni a fi gbé bá company tí à ń sọ ìsọ̀rọ̀ wípé nǹkan tá ń pè ní technology kámẹ́rà tẹ́ pé a lè mú àwọn ènìyàn tá dẹ̀ lè sọ fún wa wípé ẹni báyìí ti ṣe nǹkan báyìí sọ́ra a lè ní àmì tó tọ́ tá bá tẹ̀lé olé ọjọ́ lọ́la pé mi ò ṣe nǹkan báyìí a lè sọ wípé nǹkan tá a ní ó dá a lójú pé ó jáná ni. Ó máa jẹ́ wípé àwọn èèyàn wa gan wọn ò ní wá di pé wọ́n fara wọn láti máa dá mọ́tò dúró ẹni tó bá ti jáná technology yẹn ló máa mú. Ìkíní nìyẹn. Ìkejì ni wípé ó máa ran àwa lọ́wọ́ nípa bí a ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́ wa nítorí wípé ìgbà gbogbo ló máa ń jẹ́ wípé wọ́n ní Oitman ti gbowó lọ́wọ́ yàn lọ́nà o a fún ní 5,000 nígbà táwọn fọwọ́ gbowó wọ́n á mú ẹni tó ti jáná sìn á ní ẹjọ́ mò ń lọ ní ìyàwó mi lóyún à ń lọ sí hospital ẹ bá mi sanwó. Lẹ́yìn ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì a máa rí lọ́ọ̀yà wọn máa kọ lẹ́tà sọ fún mi pé wọ́n ti gbowó. Òun ló dẹ̀ bẹ Oitman bọ̀ nísìn ẹni tó bá jáná àbẹ̀ ẹni tó bá hùwà kankan tí ò dá sí òfin ìlànà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ bó ṣe máa sanwó kì í ṣe kò sí pé wọ́n á ń gba cash lọ́wọ́ ẹnì kankan mọ́, ó máa lọ sanwó pẹ̀lú POS ní. So èyí jẹ́ nǹkan tó máa ran iléeṣẹ́ wa lọ́wọ́.
Láti ìgbà tẹ́ ti jọ parapọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn iṣẹ́ yìí, ṣé a rí àwọn èèyàn tẹ́ ti mú nípa technology yìí àti pé èèyàn mélòó ni ẹ ti mú? Eléyìí tó tún lè jẹ́ pé a fi jẹ́ àpẹẹrẹ fún àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n fi ní máa ṣẹ̀ sí òfin tiná.
Ṣé mọ̀ pé ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì sẹ́yìn la ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ partnership tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ yìí àná mọ kì í ṣe nǹkan tó yẹ pé wọ́n kàn máa lọ a gbọ́dọ̀ láti jòkó. The first phase ni wípé a ti gba àwọn sim cards tá a fẹ́ lò bọ̀ láti lọ síwájú sí gẹ́gẹ́ bí nǹkan tá a ní bí ìlànà tá a gbé sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú partnership yẹn ni wípé nínú bí next quarter because oṣù ti parí nsìn lẹ́yìn oṣù tó ń bọ̀ a máa rí feasibility àwọn máa ṣe installation àwọn máa ṣe oríṣiríṣi kan because kì í ṣe nǹkan tí a lè ṣe lọ́jọ́ kan. It's going to be in phases. So a ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí lo àwọn technology yẹn but Oitman ní handheld device tá à ń lò tó yẹ pé àwọn wa máa mú dání tó yẹ pé ẹni tó bá jáná wọ́n lè yà á dẹ̀ máa ń lò láti make sure pé wọ́n sanwó fún ìjọba.
Okay, ẹ ṣé púpọ̀ sir. So this is where we draw the curtain for this special edition, and we'd like to acknowledge the Honorable Commissioner for the Ministry of Information and Orientation in person of Prince Dotun Oyelade. Also in the studio here we have the presence of the Permanent Secretary for the Ministry, Mr. Rotimi Babalola. You're welcome, sir. And we also have the Director Broadcast, Mrs. Kiton Adiagbo. Thank you very much, ma. Also, the Director of Finance and Accounts, Mrs. Bolanle Ajoje. To all our members, all the technicians who are here, the IT students, we appreciate you. My name is Afolake Bangoshe, and to our guests also, thank you for coming once again for this program.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so see you in another edition. Bye for now.
Hear this. This is Aloore Radio, the voice of Oyo State.